Hello. Okay, so this is part of a series. I am breaking down the makeup artist Melanie Iglesias. She is responsible for the beautiful gothic romantic looks on Jenna Ortega. She does Julia Gardner. She does Ana de Armas. Really beautiful style. I just filmed this base video, so that will be linked up here. And I have broken down these videos into separate categories. So I did the base. We're going to do lips. We're also going to do eyes. Right now, we're going to be doing the brows. On people like Ana de Armas and Julia Gardner, she has like normal, natural looking brows, you know, your typical makeup artist sort of brow. However, Jenna Ortega is Wednesday Addams, and she has been just this muse for these incredibly gorgeous, striking yet soft and romantic gothic sort of looks. And in a lot of these looks, because she has this darker hair, she'll have these smoky eyes, these really beautiful, like structured burgundy lips. She basically has no eyebrows. And it is a little bit difficult to tell if it's just like Jenna's brows naturally that are just not filled, or if her eyebrows are bleached to be like a little less noticeable. I know that there was a trend going around for a while that was bleached brows, and a lot of people, when they were trying to recreate this, were using concealer. The thing about this is that Jenna's brows they're not bleached brows in the traditional sense, where you're trying to get your eyebrows to be super duper light. So they're sort of like contrasted against your skin tone. They're very much like they just kind of disappear into the face, which can be incredibly gorgeous and kind of like ethereal looking, especially with these smoky eyes, her dark hair, these burgundy lips, this sculpted face. So I'm going to show you how to achieve this today without making them look heavy or too white. Okay, so we're trying to make them look like they're just sort of like blending into the skin. So depending on your skin tone, there's a few different ways that you can go about this. For instance, if you are someone who has deeper skin than me, maybe you have medium skin to deep skin, then picking up like a brow gel that is close to your skin tone is going to be great. My personal favorite, and when I say a brow gel, sorry, what I mean is like a brush-on brow gel. My personal favorite is the one from Milk Makeup. This is the Cush Fiber Brow Gel. This is so good and it has a really good hold. I don't have one my skin tone. I think even the blonde one like wouldn't be close enough to my skin tone to make my brows look gone, essentially. The only color I have is the shade Dub, which is kind of like a nice warm brown. But this has fibers, so it will like kind of add to the hair, and it holds. So this is my favorite one. If what you want is to achieve this sort of like minimal brow look, then I have this little trick for you. So I'm gonna grab a little mixing plate. If I can grab it. This one's from Auric. I'll link it down below. And then I'm gonna start off with the Super Brow. I don't know if these were renamed at some point. These are from KVD Beauty. They are basically a pomade. You can use them as eyeliners. You can use them as like brow pomades. They're multi-use basically. So this is too light, right? This is going to make my eyebrows look like bleached brows, okay? So I'm gonna pick up with my little spatula, just a little, I don't know, that much. I might need more. Put it on my little palette. And then I'm just gonna wipe off my spatula so it's clean. I'm going to grab this brow powder. This is from Model Rock Cosmetics. This is the blonde shade. You can use an eyeshadow. You can use literally a bronzer. You can use anything you need, okay? So don't be afraid to just like mix stuff. So I'm basically just gonna scrape a bit of this into that pomade. You can use your contour color, like whatever is gonna mix well. And then I'm just mixing it into the pomade. Okay, so that's a little bit darker, but it's not quite where I want it. So I'm gonna keep going. Scraping sound, sorry. Okay, that's pretty good. That actually might be slightly dark. I might have to do a little bit of back and forth here. Okay, I think that's pretty good, actually. Now, if you feel like it's a little too cool toned, you can mix in like a little bit of bronzer. I feel like that's fine. That's totally fine. So, all right, so I set my eyebrows with soap, okay? Now, whatever you use, whether it's a brow gel or like a brow, like, well, it should probably be a brow gel, but like the little Anastasia brow gel that comes in like the pot, or if it's like a brow gel that comes like this, what I want you to do is just take whatever that is and just put it on your little mixing thing. It could be on the back of your hand too. You don't need a palette. So I'm going to get this wet. You can just use like a little bit of water. I'm just gonna use a little bit of setting spray. It really does not matter. It could just be water. And I'm gonna make sure my spatula is nice and clean. And I'm going to scrape, like basically mix that into the soap. Okay. And then scrape some soap out and add that to my mixture. Okay. This is art class today. Now, the reason I'm adding soap is because I know that the soap, this is Pear's soap, holds my brows really, really well. And I don't want my brows to be just like limp and flat. Like the way that they grow, I want them to look like structured a little bit. You know what I mean? So I want to add some kind of product that's going to like be the glue, you know, that's going to hold the hairs. I'm adding a little bit more of this pomade. I want to make sure I'm getting the right color here, otherwise this is going to be moot. So just kind of like experiment, go back and forth, mix different things, mix in eyeshadows. And you want to kind of get close to the value of your skin. So once you like mix, just put like a little bit next, like on your actual skin, you know? I know that I'm not going to get exactly my skin color, but I feel like that's pretty good. Like I said, it's a little bit cool toned, but that's okay. So now I'm going to take a clean spoolie. I have this one right here, which is angled. Doesn't really matter, whatever spoolie you have. And I'm just going to pick up the pomade. I don't want to pick up way too much, but you want to make sure that you're like evenly coating. And then I'm literally just going to brush this through my brow hairs. Okay. So the wax of the soap, or the waxy finish of the soap, is really going to set the hairs so that they're not just falling down, which is what I want. Because if you use just like something that's got basically just concealer in it, it's wet. You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna hold your brow hairs. Okay, I'm adding a little bit more, and I'm just making sure that I'm coating the hairs. Okay, I'm gonna pick up on the other side. And you can really adjust this. So like if you do want to go for something a little more, like more bleached and not just softened, then you can, you know, go in with something that's going to be even lighter than your skin tone. Okay. Her brows are so like barely there. I kind of want to just like mix a little more, adding a little bit more of the light color. I wonder how this would work if I mixed the soap with concealer. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take a little bit of my NARS Nougatine, which is like a warmer concealer, which will warm this up a little bit so it doesn't look too cool toned. I'm gonna mix that in. I'm sorry about the scraping. They already feel really nicely set. So because they've already like relatively set, I'm not like going like this. I'm sort of slowly placing it in like that. Okay. See? So now my brows are set in place. The brow hairs are going to stay there. My brows are muted, but they're not completely gone, you know? Now it looks like, again, it looks like I have more brow hair than she does overall. but we've achieved like this effect, which is really going to help make the eyes pop, okay? So this is one of the things that you can do if you are trying to achieve a slightly more like muted look without being like so bleached, and also without bleaching your actual hair. And you don't want to use concealer because it's too wet and it doesn't stay put, then this is a really great trick. Now you don't necessarily need the brow pomade. I did mix the concealer in, and I was using a lot of soap. So I kind of feel like if you wanted to, you could try just mixing your concealer with your brow gel, or maybe with soap if you do soap brows or whatever it might be. I feel like that could work. So give it a shot. Please let me know what you think. All right, guys, that's it for this video. I hope that it was helpful. If this is something that you've been trying to achieve, let me know if you give it a shot and what technique you use. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to mix, okay? Mix things and get creative, mix colors. That's how we learn, right? All right, hope you enjoyed. Just like and subscribe and whatever, and I'll see you soon.